Community Radio for Ipswich. This is ICR.
My thanks to Jerry and his jazz grooves. Good evening and welcome to the Ballroom Blitz here on Ipswich Community Radio 105.7 FM, and we're online worldwide at www.icrfm.com, and you can also tune in to us on the radio player and tune-in app if you've got such a thing. Kicked off the show with Everybody Knows That You're Insane, which is a track from Queen of the Stone Age, of course, their Lullabies to Paralyze album, and that was a choice of my guests this evening. I've got Matt and Jordan here from Essex band Karmataus. Hi guys, how are you?
Hey, you right?
Yeah, fine, thank you, fine. Have a good Thursday so far?
Yeah, no, it's been good.
Yeah.
It's been good, like we're not, not been out in the rain or anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Done anything you can tell us about?
Well,
I've just done uni work.
I finished a new song for this band, and yeah, that's going to be released real soon.
Okay,
Sounded real nice.
okay, we'll talk about that later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, okie doke. And before we dive into some questions, shall we play a track from you?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. This is from your debut album, Later Down the Road, and this is the title track. So this is Karmataus with Later Down the Road. was a track called Later Down the Road by my guests this evening. I've got Matt and Jordan here from Essex band Karmataus, and that was the title track of their debut album that came out about 3 or 4 years ago. Is that right?
Yeah, I'd say, yeah. It's pretty much 4 years exact.
Okay.
Yeah, or 4 years.
Okay.
No, actually, no, it's 5 years now.
Oh.
'Cause it came out in 2014. So... Yeah, that was an album that I did when I first started getting stuff properly together with the recordings and stuff. Everything else was done just on a laptop, with the Audacity. But yeah, that was when I had all the Scotland section. So later down the road was pretty much just the Scotland side of the band. So the band started November 2011, and it was just me and a guy called Jamie, whose middle name is Karma.
Right.
And my name, Matt. I thought, it's cool having an alias called, like, Matthias. And I thought, you know what, let's stick it together. But then we thought, no, that's stupid, so let's call the band Karma Sutra. And that's actually how it started.
Right.
And we started, getting around and, getting gigs and things, and Karma Sutra was the way. I never realized Karma Sutra was actually Kama Sutra with no R. So not only was this a stupid name, it was also wrong spelling. I was like, what? But then eventually we got onto this in 2013 we got onto this. We won a place in a competition to get some free recordings and get ourselves, playing this really cool gig with the mayor of flipping Edinburgh come in,
right.
Which was like, what? But just before we were getting the little recordings together, that's when a girlfriend I had at the time said, that's such a stupid name, you got to change it. And I was like, oh, okay. Here's the name that we thought of before, Karmataus, and yeah, changed it last second. Put it on the print of the little EP thing, and luckily we didn't have to say Karma Sutra in front of the mayor of Edinburgh.
So I take it then that the band actually was formed and started in Scotland.
Yeah.
And then, so what time did you come down to Essex and perhaps hook up with Jordan and the other guys?
So I moved like January 2014. So it started off with I just started going around, I felt bad because I just released that Later Down the Road album, and then I'm like, oh yeah guys, I'm moving, and I spent like a year and a half on the album, and then there was literally no launch with it because I just left, and I felt pretty bad about that, and but I thought, it's got to move on, move down, and then I just started going to like open mic nights and jam nights and stuff. And that's where I met Dale, who was in the band up until last November or December. Yeah, last December. And me and him just started doing stuff and started playing around. The songs changed. We started doing acoustic things and that. And then after a few years, I didn't really do anything with it too much. After a few years, eventually, met Jordan. Because Jordan, I first met Jordan.
It was at Dale's.
Dale had a gig
festival.
thing, yeah. But I met Jordan. That was like once though, and it was 2 years later until I saw him again. And then I wanted Jordan to like play the bass at the
You
start.
asked me to play drums first.
Yeah.
And because you're doing acoustic, I decided to play bass.
Yeah.
And we did like one show in that setup, I think.
Yeah. No drums or anything. I was like, I can't be dealing with this acoustic stuff. I got to get back to electric, man. And then, but Dale and Jordan used to play together in a band called Fall of Colossus.
Yeah. So we went to college together at Colchester Institute. So we studied music together. So I eventually met Matt.
And eventually, somehow, it got to the point where I started playing the drums, but I I don't know if it was like George was in there already, but
no.
But basically, I realized that Jordan was a much better guitarist than me, and I was like, oh, I can play drums, because Jordan started playing the drums, and I thought, you know what, let's just switch it up, and I started singing and playing the drums at the same time, which I will be doing that not next gig, but the gig after it, when the drummer's not available.
Oh, okay.
And and that's how that got going, and then we got a guy called George who currently plays bass. He's got a lot of stuff going on. He's got another band. He's got a metal band called Mercomorph. He plays guitar in it, and we got Henry, who also played with George in the past, and that's how I got to know him.
Okay.
So literally just just friends around. Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I like to do it.
Can you remember your first gig with sort of the current lineup down here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we played.
When we first had this full setup, Henry had to go away again, and then we played with you on drums.
Yeah, the first
basement.
Yeah, the first proper thing was in the basement in Chelmsford.
Okay.
Yeah, that was basement bar. And that was a good gig, you know, a lot of friends, and a lot of different types of bands on that night. But bands like to do that thing where they play and they leave.
Yeah.
And it's a shame, but the friends that were there, I don't know if it was a drink or something, but
it was a drink.
They were wailing. They were like, "Oh God!" So and then the gig after that was in Harwich with Henry doing the drums for us for the first time.
Okay.
And that was back in August.
Okay, and that was for the Essex Rocks guys?
Yeah,
That's
Essex
good
Rocks
that I
guys,
mentioned
yeah.
Mr. Barrett kicking the night. And you got quite a snazzy logo, if you don't mind me saying so. Who's responsible for that?
Oh, the current
Yeah.
one. Yeah, this guy.
Yeah, that'd be me.
Oh,
so,
okay, excellent.
I'm actually
excellent.
studying graphic design at uni now.
Right.
So we were going through the concept of the album cover, and you wanted like an MC Escher
Yeah.
thing. So I managed to build this logo and make it kind of say your band name and look like an MC Escher sort of illustration.
Yeah, because there was the isometric sort of all the lines, you got up and down and stuff, but then the ones that are diagonal are all equal. But then it fits into the front of the logo of the Days After Days EP. It fits into the triangles, and I was like, man,
Okay,
I
and
like it.
do you think that ties in nicely with the type of music that Karmataus plays?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. Where it's not really random, Each bit's got its own specific part, and there's lots of different types of rock, and I just think we played Queens of Stone Age just now, and they're a lot of people have called them robot rock because it's so repetitive and each bit's got its own component, and that's what I like about this, where it's not the most technical stuff, but it's not rocking out, it's like it's trying to be tight, and each part has a specific bit that we're trying to do. But when we play live, it's different.
Okay.
I think that's got down to do with practice, though.
And where can people find you in terms of social media?
The place I'm on the most is Facebook.
Okay.
We get emails. Karmatausofficial@gmail.com. Facebook, Instagram, yeah. Everyone, all the rest of the band are on Instagram all the time.
Okay.
I don't know what the fascination is about that, even though I check it every day. But yeah, there's this Karmataus because no one else has that name. No one else uses it.
And that's Karmataus.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's not a disease.
No. So if you type that in, then it should come up with you guys first of all.
Or some random Indian stuff.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you've brought some of your favourites in. We've already played Queens of the Stone Age, and I think we've decided that this next one is the Unknown Mortal Orchestra.
Yes.
Is that
Yeah,
right?
that's correct.
And it's a track called Cronus Feasts on His Children. Yeah, okay, so we'll give that a play. This is the Unknown Mortal Orchestra.
Listen to the crunching music of the crashing mopeds all around her, painted with the burning powders of exotic funerals that surround her. Kronos feast on his children like turning mango flesh. Will the trouble cease when she pays off the police? Infection filled my head like springtime flower beds and evaporating trash. Pressure in the skull like leaking timber hull made dreams so wonderful. Kronos feast on his children like turning mango flesh. Will the trouble cease when she pays the pigs off?
couple of tracks there for you here on the Ballroom Blitz this evening. First of all, you heard Unknown Mortal Orchestra with that Cronus Feasts on His Children, and then you heard Karmataus with a track called The Sin Behind the Lie. And I've got Matt and Jordan here from Karmataus, and you can find that track on the Days After Days EP. And guys, can you just tell us where you can pick the EP up from?
You can, I guess, just ask me for my address. you can get the EP on like Spotify and Tidal and
Apple.
Deezer and Apple Music and
Okay, all the majors.
and my house as well if you want to come around.
Okay. And have you got physical copies that you can pick up from you guys at gigs and stuff?
But we all know the difference between CDs and CDRs now.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to make that mistake again.
And we played a track earlier on from your debut album, Later Down the Road. Is that still available? People can...
That is on Bandcamp.
Okay.
And it's on SoundCloud.
Right.
Only.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And where did you record the EP? Where do you do your recordings?
So that, I pretty much, everything that we've done except like this thing that no one really knows about, really, it's been recorded anywhere that I've been living. So, when I first started, with using Audacity, I was using an electric drum kit and tried to recreate the sounds of that, and I don't think a lot of people know that it's actually electric. It just sounds like a normal kit, but then when I was working in the studio in Scotland, I started recording all the stuff from like 1 o'clock at night till 6 in the morning by myself, and I'd lock up the place, and because they didn't pay me anything, I was like, I'm just going to use this place. And that's what Later Down the Road is. Pretty much the whole thing is just me in a studio. The studio was like, it wasn't that good of a place, but I learned a lot of stuff. And then moving on to Days After Days, this is my house.
Oh, okay.
I've got a little studio.
Right.
And the latest stuff now that's coming out has also been done at my house. And I think people would be surprised that it is actually that way, instead of going to a studio and paying hundreds of pounds for this stuff. Just do it yourself if you have the time and the willpower and the skills and
Okay.
and the determination and the sacrifice.
So, did the EP take a long time to record?
Not the actual time, not the actual physical labor. No.
Okay.
But in terms of
Mixing it probably took the longest.
mixing it and getting to the point where you're getting someone to come in to record a new bit, that's what takes a long time. Logistics. So,
Especially me. I used to live with my parents, miles and miles away.
Yeah, about like, what is it, like near
It's
near
like
the
Suffolk,
airport,
basically.
Yeah. So, Days After Days took about a year and a half, which it didn't need to, for an EP.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And were the songs already written for the EP?
One of them is actually sort of like a retro-fitted song from a little film that I made called Skyrocket.
Right.
So, Skyrocket is an amalgamation of all the parts of the soundtrack put into one song. So that was done back in 2015, and all the other songs were made to be on that album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know you've since subsequently done a new single, Truth Be Told, which I think gave a spin last week. And got any more plans to... You've obviously got another one that's coming along. And is there any more plans to record any more tracks in the near future? Have you got like another EP or another album on the boil?
We got something. Yeah, we got a whole
Have an
EP that is a lot, like, there's a lot of drums recorded. So we just need to... I think there's like another... We want to get stuff. You know how you get albums and people might have like 20 songs, but then you whittle it down to about 11 or something. They don't they don't just record the songs that are on the album.
No.
You know, they try and pick from the best. So that's what's happened with us, where, you know, there might be some songs that we've recorded and thought, you know what, we're not going to use this anymore.
Yeah.
So we just, you know,
I
throw
think
it.
we're writing faster than we're recording now.
Yeah, it is. So
Got one
there's
yesterday.
there's a lot. Yeah, we pretty much made a new song yesterday that we're gonna play at the next gig, which is, you know, be cool. But yeah, we've got a new EP coming out, but we're just trying to get the singles out now and getting the song that isn't out yet. We got a music video that we're filming for that
Okay.
on the 16th.
Right.
So that's gonna be good.
Excellent. And that'll be on sort of YouTube and those
Yeah.
sort of things. Okie dokie. And in terms of releasing a format, you're obviously going to be releasing it digitally. Plans to do a CD?
Yeah.
With artwork and the like?
This EP, the next one that we're gonna do, you know, the untitled one at the moment, that's gonna be done properly this time, so it can be played everywhere, you know,
On all CD players.
on all CD players, you know, even the oldest, you know, the oldest thing you could ever find, you know,
Yeah.
we're gonna play it,
Okay.
and you know, depending on what's what, we could even do cassettes if we wanted to,
Well,
if we really wanted to.
yeah.
That's,
How about vinyl?
ballpark.
How about vinyl? What do you... Are you a
Vinyl-
fan of vinyl?
I am. I'm a collector. But
Yeah, I
I'd
like.
love to.
I'm actually doing. I'm actually, you know, helping out because my family do films and stuff. You know, I make films and things, and
Yeah.
we actually have a documentary about vinyl that we're doing.
Okay.
So yeah, here we are. But in terms of making a vinyl for the music,
Mm.
it's not. I don't think it's as far away as people think it is. So it's a possibility
Okay.
for a very, very, very limited edition. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I gather it's not cheap these days to,
No,
to
definitely.
I mean,
put something out
you know,
on vinyl.
But there's a lot of new vinyl stuff going on.
Mm.
It's not in the past anymore. You know, it's like most of my friends are buying them. You know, a lot of people have them. It's not really out of fashion at the moment. So, you know, the price of making a vinyl isn't as much as, you know, it's not like an antique. It's only just, you know, it's just plastic. So yeah,
Okay.
maybe.
Okay. Okay. And as we said before, you've brought some of your favourites along, and we're going to play a track now from, I believe they're French, aren't they? Gojira?
Yeah, Godzilla.
Yeah,
Used to be
okay.
called Godzilla.
Right. Okay.
But then, you know, people thought that was sort of stupid, just like what we did. And now they're Gojira.
Okay. Okay. And this is a track called Ouroboros. So this is Gojira with Ouroboros.
Life burns, fear isolation from the flame. As this process, quest for absolution, out of bounds introspect, self-consuming warm, ever present, meant no end.
That was Gojira with a track called Oribus, and that's a choice of my guests this evening. I've got Jordan and Matt here from Essex band Karmataus, and guys, we touched briefly on your EP, Days After Days, and you've got a new, or you've had a subsequent single, Truth Be Told, and I believe you've got a new single coming out shortly.
Yeah. I don't know if I don't know if it's like this, you know. I've not said what the name is to anyone yet.
No.
Or what it sounds like. So I'll just save it. But basically, you know, we're getting 2 singles out, getting videos out for it. I just, you know, doing the things that aren't gigs. Cause you could gig, you know, you could like, I know bands that have this gig for like years, and they just keep gigging. But it's like they haven't, like, you know, they haven't got anywhere of what they said they wanted to get to, just because they haven't done the online stuff. So this is, you know, it's what we got to do, you know. So yeah, a new single coming out. But Truth Be Told has only been out for like the past month, I think.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this one thing, Truth Be Told, in the terms of the guitar playing, is a lot of inspiration from the band that we just heard, with finger tapping and stuff. It just, you know, I never done that before, and yeah, that's what I did in that.
Okay.
Steal it.
Okay, and come on to gigs. You've got loads of gigs coming up in the not too distant future. Do you want to have a run through them? Tell us where they are and
all right, if we remember.
If not,
So-
I've got a handy bit of paper here just to remind you.
So the next one is Colchester in the Queen Street Brewery House. It's an all-day rock event,
Okay.
and I think it's from like 3 till 11:30, and we're on at 8 o'clock. But don't put you off. You gotta get yourselves down earlier. You know what I mean? Earlier and stay later.
Listen to everyone.
Listen to everybody. Even if you're asleep, just listen to 'em. Just be there. You gotta be like a face. So. That's the next one. The gig after that is we're playing with Elephant Jane, who we've done. We've played. I've played with them with Leyland Pass, and did we play?
We've not played with them.
Yeah, but I've seen them quite a few times now, and they're awesome.
Yeah,
I saw them like
great bunch of guys.
a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
and yeah. They're hosting their own event at the Smokehouse on the 23rd.
Yep.
So that'll be awesome.
Okay.
I'll be playing the drums for that one.
Oh, okay. All right.
Henry, our drummer, is going to Indonesia for his uni thing. But
All right. Okay.
but yeah, just the thing about Henry is that this is for him, because he couldn't make it today because he's so loaded with his uni work. But
Last minute job.
this is his this is his first proper band, and last year was the first gigs he's played. But he's been playing drums for 13 years, and no one would suspect that last year was the first year that he's ever played drums. And he's such a sick drummer, and his outlook on life is so good, and I'd say he's pretty obsessed with drums, to be honest. Like, he like bands like just for the drums, like just ignore all the rest of it. But nah, that's not being fair. He actually thinks about guitar stuff and musicianship and that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's been playing with us, and it's been going real well. And with a good drummer, I don't know. I just think it just makes it like you don't have to think about it at all. He'll just be playing, and you could literally do anything, and he'll know what's going on. So yeah, that's good. It's always good to have a good backbone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I believe you've got another gig at the Smokehouse a bit later on, May 4th. One of
With
Josh's gigs.
yeah, with
Hunt for Titans.
yeah, with Jar Records.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
I've listened to the show when he was on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was because anytime I've seen him, it's always like really busy at the gig. But yeah, it's good to hear hear his whole philosophy on helping the bands out and doing stuff that because it's a lot of work doing that.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work
Yeah.
putting these gigs on. Even trying to get your own gigs that other people are putting on is hard. So
He's playing now as well.
yeah,
He's got a band now.
yeah.
Yes, Lucy and the Charms, I
Yeah,
believe. Yeah, that's the name of his band. So he's going to be very busy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a busy guy.
So, and then the following week, May the 11th, I believe you've got your own gig. Is that right? At the
Yeah,
Brew House.
at the Brew House.
in
Yeah,
Colchester.
that's gonna be an interesting one. We're gonna get a band to play before us, and then we're gonna play, and then we're gonna play again with a completely different arrangement.
Right.
So we're all gonna play a jazz session
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
called Defunkin'.
Right. Okie doke. And just to fill in the gaps, because we've missed a couple out, you're playing in St Albans in a Battle of the Bands in April.
Yeah,
April
with
9th.
with a Juicebox live.
Okay.
We played one gig with them before, back in. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. These dates though, they're like leaving my head. We played at the Half Moon at the Horn, with the Horn at the Half Moon in Bishop Stortford. Yeah. And that was some point a couple of months ago.
And then you've got one with Men of Munger in Sudbury,
Oh,
Yeah.
May the 3rd.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah, they sounded great. They just contacted us,
Yeah.
just because we were playing with in Ipswich.
Yeah.
You know, they saw it and they were like, you know, do you want to play?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Okay, excellent. So your next couple is next Saturday, Queen Street Brewhouse.
Yeah.
March the 16th, and that's an all-dayer. And then the following Saturday at the Smokehouse here in Ipswich with Elephant Jane and Lemon Curd Kids, I believe.
Yeah.
And Litter of Kings. So,
Yeah.
So if you're in Colchester or Ipswich on those Saturday nights, do pop along to those.
Oh, no.
So, in terms of gigs, do you have any sort of favourite venues?
I do like the brew house. I you know, the charm of it is good. I definitely thought the smokehouse was weird when I first went in, but you know, like when you keep going in, you realize like it sounds really good in there, and you know, when you get the people in, it's just like it's like some sort of house party. You know, I like that.
I liked the one at Bishop Stortford.
Yeah, the Bishop Stortford one. That was a cool room. It feels like, you know,
It's the best sound we've had so far.
feels like you're playing in a spaceship.
All the lights.
Okay, and would you like to play in London? Do you think playing in London is what a band needs to do to sort of further?
Yeah, that's a
its
hot
career
topic.
a little bit?
That's a very debatable topic. You know what I mean? You know, I played in London now. You know, I played in Glasgow and Edinburgh, and you know, that stuff. I do think it's more important to get yourself, you know, get yourselves people that, you know, that actually like the music and stuff, rather than go in and use it as some sort of, you know,
Promotional.
Yeah,
bands.
because
Build the foundations first.
yeah, you know,
Fan base.
you can have a really awful gig in London and just say, what an awesome gig, you know, and that you played in London. But I think it's more about, you know, are you playing good shows? Are you doing things that people would actually want as well? So I think
we've been asked to play.
yeah, we were asked to play when I put the Truth Be Told track up. You know, I got asked by a promotion company, do you want to play in London? I was like, yeah, but the dates didn't line up for when we're available, so we're still working on that. But yeah, I do feel like it's more important at the moment to play where we are, because London is an abyss, you know, and I think a lot of work, you know, there's a lot of work for the amount of stuff that you get back at the moment, until you get some tasty followers online. That's what I think on it.
And I think you need to sort of build a relationship with the other bands as well.
Yeah.
So,
I think,
important,
relationships with the bands is, I don't know. Yeah, I definitely say it's equally as important. Sometimes it's more important, you know, having a good relationship with the bands, because, you know, they bloody love music, don't they?
Yes. Yeah. And in terms of perhaps festivals, any that you'd like to play, perhaps locally?
So that Battle of the Bands thing.
Yeah.
That well, the Juicebox Live, they're hosting a festival in August, and every time I look up the name, I always forget it. It starts with a W, but yeah, that's one that we've applied for.
Okay.
So we'll see what they choose, but yeah, you know, I'll definitely be getting on that, but definitely, I mean, at the moment, I haven't looked at any of that. No.
Okay.
But yeah, you know, I played some festivals with Leyland Pass.
Yeah.
And that was great. You know, I really enjoyed that. You know, Dover Court and Brightland Sea, and that Brightland Sea one was like, you know, that was busy. That was great. I felt like I was at Glastonbury. Yeah, that was good.
Excellent. And apart from perhaps the obvious, like the O2 or whatever, are there any venues that you'd like to play that you haven't played yet, either locally or nationally?
there's a whole selection of ones in London. You know, like ones that you walk down some stairs and stuff like. I can't remember the names of these places though. There's a bar called Ronnie Scott's, but I don't know if that just plays jazz music.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't think they do rock. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well, we'll just have to change it enough. But that was I mean, I would love to play in there.
Yeah.
But but this is a lot of places that when I was in Scotland, you know, that I would still want to play. But you know, what about you, man?
I don't know. It'd be cool to play South by Southwest.
Oh, right.
I mean, that's overseas, but it'd be like weeks solid of just playing.
I mean,
4 gigs a day. That'd be cool.
If you're talking about like what would I actually want to play, you know, out of the whole world, then, you know, definitely some desert festival.
Desert days.
That would be great. You know, what's it called? Coachella? No, yeah.
Coachella.
Is that a desert one? I don't know.
No.
I think that's sort of like a travelling one, isn't it?
All right.
And I'm not even sure, is that still going now? I think that.
I don't know, maybe.
Sure.
There's some place, you know, some place over Los Angeles way, you know.
Yeah.
I just think that, you know, the stuff that came out of that place, you know, Joshua Tree and stuff, you know, because Queens of Stone Age and Screaming Trees, the Screaming Trees band, and just so many cool bands came out of that place, you know. So I definitely love to play there. Yeah, Caius, stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. And favourite part of gigging?
Probably the bit where like you got all this stuff in the car, you just driving back home.
Fine.
I'd say
nailing a song
nailing. Yeah.
or a solo. That's
Yeah, like there's a bit like halfway through the gig, you know, when you've rattled off, you know, 4 or 5 songs, and you think, yeah, this is going pretty well, you know, and you feel the crowd like loosening up, and you know yourself, you're starting to wave around, and you know you don't care anymore because it feels like you can do anything, you know. That's probably the best bit.
Okay.
Yeah, not the end bit though, because you know everyone's like, oh, don't leave.
Okay. We'll play another one of your faves. This is Battles.
Yeah, this is Henry. This is Henry's choice.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
Henry the drummer, and a track called Racing. Is that right?
Racing, yeah.
Racing.
I think
Okay.
you wanted Black Veil Brides first, but
That was Black Veil Brides.
Okay.
Joking, we don't we don't condone that band.
Okay. All right. So this is Battles with Racing. That was Karmataus with a track called Staring Into Your Morality, and before that you heard a choice of my guests this evening. I've got Jordan and Matt here from Karmataus, and they picked a fave, or sorry, Henry the drummer, who's not with us. That was one of his faves. That was a track called Battles with Racing. And so, guys, can I just ask what the songwriting process is for Karmataus? Do you write individually or together?
Mainly, I'd say individually. This newest song that we wrote yesterday was probably the first time we really collaborated, would you say?
With this amount of people in this lineup, yeah, definitely. So, like, it seems to be most of the time it's sort of like you get a block and you take that block with everyone and they add pieces, you know, or chip away, you know, and do that, you know, instead of, because it's hard work if it's completely democratic, you know, when it just comes together and it's like, let's think of something, guys. So
Yeah.
yesterday was like, we still had a pretty good block, and most of the stuff that we came up with was improvisation, wasn't it? From what we imagined, what we what we thought of before, and we just remembered it and started playing it. But I'd say there's been,
I mean, me, you, and Dale would come in with our own things we'd have written separately.
Yeah, like there's been like one rare occasion where me and old band member Dale, like we just completely made up a song together called Mexican Song, and yeah, that was good. But then it just kept changing all the time, because it's like I think that's what happens when you make a song together. It's sort of it can start to change all the time, because it's like, what have you really thought about it? Because when you're by yourself, you might have a lot more patience to do something, unless you're in an office situation and you're with someone trying to sort this song out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trying to figure out, troubleshoot this song. So but yeah, I think it just works the best when you come up with a block. Take it and show it to the band, show it to Henry, and see what drums he wants to make. And you can give you give hints of if you want a double time or something, what kind of beat, if you want what kind of influence you want on it. But yeah, he'll come up with something real tasty.
And I was going to ask you, do the songs change over time in terms of the music and the lyrics, or so that when you come to record them, they are different from when you first wrote them?
Yeah.
I think when we record them, that's when they're most fresh.
Yeah.
So we sort of move away from that when we're playing.
Yeah. There's for instance, the the latest one that we're doing now, like the way that I wanted it to come together. I was recording it, we play it live, and I'll go back to recording, and I see some stuff that I've done that I really liked. I take it into the recording bit and just do it. Or when I've re-recorded some songs from years ago, after playing it live so much, I figured out what works best, and re-record it with that bit now, and you think that's so much better, So I think you can. I like, I do like road testing some of the songs, take it into the studio and see what happens. But equally, you can make some crazy stuff and see if you can play it live. But I'd say there's a lot of songs that we've recorded and we start playing it live and we play it different, we play it better, or it's just different, Sometimes it's not better, you're just playing it different. Or there's been times where I've completely changed completely changed the rhythm of a song, with the same chords and stuff, but everything's placed differently, and it just makes it sound completely different. Like a song called Cherries Don't Give on the Later Down the Road album, which was on our first EP from years ago, back in 2012, and it's changed up from da 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 to dink dink, get some reggaeton on there. Yeah.
Okay. And are there any sort of particular themes that the guys are in the band are interested in that comes through either lyrically or even musically? Do you have musical themes?
Some themes.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'd say me and Dale would he would write lyrics for the songs that he would put together, take it to the band. And he would write sort of about some mystical journeys of things like that, where I would write more about the sort of the hardcore nature of just living a first world life. It's like singing about just how people might have just annoyed you, or trying to just deal with your own thoughts about things. The latest theme that's been going on, which you can see in the song titles, is my whole fascination about lying and just what stuff do you hold from people, because not telling the truth isn't always the best thing. oh yeah, what you been up to, Jimmy? Yeah, just been at the toilet. You know, sometimes the truth is not that important.
No.
So that's been a theme that I've been going through. So truth be told,
yeah.
you know, the new one that has that same stuff in it, and sin behind the lie, you know, all that stuff, you know, that's a major theme. Yeah, but I think there's definitely some musical themes going on now, you know, because I think me and Jordan play pretty similar in terms of like weird,
I think we have a mutual
fingers.
Like appreciation of Queens of Stone Age, the Desert Sessions, or sort of that sort of
weird spooky rock, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I like. I mean, the latest stuff we're trying to go for now is punchy drums and more reverb going on. Yeah.
Okay. And favourite songs that you've written?
I'd say, you know, I was a big fan of Later Down the Road for a long time because I felt like that was a cornerstone of all the songs that I've done before. And it wasn't just a song, it was like the production, it was like everything, you know. But I'd say the latest one that I got obsessed with is Truth Be Told. I just like listened to it like 10 times a day for 4 months.
Okay.
What about you?
Okay. Jordan?
I have like my own sort of music projects I also do. So my main one is called Dungeons. It's like a psychedelic garage sort of thing.
Sort of like got that vintage sound, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like inspired by krautrock, I guess, Can and Noi. A song called Hive Mind, which I found out was played on some radio somewhere.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they didn't tell me, but
Oh.
but yeah, I'm happy with that song. Definitely.
Okay. And you've brought some of your faves in, and we're going to go on a bit of a fave of my own at the moment. Ty Seagull.
Yeah.
Ty Seagull's like a favourite of mine.
Yeah.
I think around 2012 is when I discovered him with the album Twins.
Right. Yeah.
And I think from then on, I sort of looked into more music like that and left the mainstream music behind. And it sort of formed who I am now, I guess.
Okay. So this is a track off his Freedom's Goblin album, and this is Ty Seagull with She. That was Karmataus with their latest single, Truth Be Told, and before that you heard the excellent Ty Segall with the track called She off his Freedom's Goblin album. And I've got Matt and Jordan here from Karmataus. And guys, who would you say were the biggest influences on Karmataus?
What in the whole?
The whole shebang. If you could sort of
it's
say.
got to be Queens of the Stone Age.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely say when I first started, it wasn't even like I thought Queens of the Stone Age were too cool for me, so I had to settle for the Desert Sessions. If anyone's like looked up Desert Sessions, the early stuff is they're not sober for a start. I think they're definitely on like ketamine, mushrooms, and all sorts of stuff, while going out into the desert and recording stuff all at once. And
You can hear a lot of early versions of Queen songs,
like
even
no one
into their latest albums. There's
like
songs.
the song "No One Knows." The first version of that was called "Cold Sore Superstars," and it's like it plays that din 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 on the piano, and there's like a lot of different early versions, and hearing those early versions, gave me a lot of inspiration, because I was like, man, if Queens of the Stone Age sounds so good here, you listen to the Desert Sessions and you hear like basically this feels like demo versions of those songs, and you think, man, you can see the man behind the curtain, you know what I mean?
Mm.
And I thought, man, I can do that. I can make it sound as good as the Desert Sessions stuff, and I just started doing a lot of, because I used to make a lot of electronic music as a kid, and it was weird like moving into live recording, and then I just pretty much exclusively did that, and yeah, so eventually I figured out, I think I'm cool enough for Queens, so I started doing stuff that got some more balls in it,
Mm.
So I'd say Queens has been the majority of that, but now I don't really listen to them as much. Yeah, I feel like they've changed. They've changed into something more mediocre.
They have, haven't they? But you did. I quite like the last one, Villains.
I do. Yeah, I like it. It's just not. It's just not what. It's just not what I'm going for now. There's been times where I've like literally about to release a new album, and a lot of the songs that they've just released has been like the same time signature, the same, structure and production and everything. I'm like, what? They've stolen it. So, but now it's veered off. I don't feel like we're on the same path anymore.
Okay. And any bands or artists that you've been listening to recently, say in the last 12 months or so, that you feel is having an influence on the Karmataus sound these days?
Anything you got? I think because I got.
I listen to a lot of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, but I wouldn't say I bring it to the band. But then the gig in Bishop Stortford, a guy was like, "Oh, I could hear that."
Yeah, I've definitely been playing some stuff that sounds like King Gizzard, mate. Yeah, definitely. Like, I do really like that. I was like trying to stay away from, in the past I was trying to have it like, a lot of mid range, having it muddy and stuff, not having too much high stuff going on and about. But so I would never really play anything like King Gizzard. But now it's different. It feels like you're playing all sorts of things anywhere, and I thought it was cool. In the past 12 months, I'd definitely say Gojira is like probably like the gateway drug to metal, where they're not the most intricate players, but is intricate enough to make you think I can reach that, So yeah, definitely that. The only thing I think of is that I've just been listening to Unreal Mortal Orchestra lately, but that hasn't really influenced. I'd say definitely Bad Not Good over the past 12 months. That's influenced me on the importance of bass.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely, because I didn't really think about. I used to play with no bassist for years, just me, another guitarist and a drummer, and I just turned the bass up on the amp, and that would be good enough. But yeah,
I've got George,
we got George.
sick bass
Yeah.
player.
And are you guys in the bands all into the same sort of stuff, or do your tastes differ at all?
I think we are.
I'd say everyone has their own interlocking, like a color chart, like that, yeah, like a color chart where you might get a couple of people that like a band, but you might not like it as much as they too do.
But then you're like some other band.
Yeah.
3 other people were like.
Yeah. So like me and George, like we like a lot of I never really been into metal when I was younger, but when I met him, and my brother's really into metal, and my brother does like some crazy vocal screaming stuff, and he's a sick drummer as well. So me and George, like a lot of metal music and that, whereas me and Henry might be into something different. But yeah, I'd say we all do like just we all like some heavy rock music, definitely. But we all appreciate new age jazz as well, like jazz hip hop stuff. That seems to be coming in.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to ask you about that in terms of genres and artists, etc. Are there any of that just wouldn't get a look in the Karmataus, but you guys are still into
Oh man.
that sort of thing?
Well, I mean, I do like Kendrick. I do like and
Well, don't you like?
what don't I like?
Yeah. What wouldn't make it in?
I mean, I don't know if Kendrick can fit in. You know what I mean? But it's saying like some music that we really like, but it just wouldn't work. I'd say just some jazz stuff, like stuff that's a lot softer.
I think we could work jazz.
This way, I mean, what kind of question is that? We can work anything into it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Drum and bass, probably that won't fit.
No. Okay. Favourite singers, guitarists, Matt?
I really like, Tom York is singing his singing is his own style, you know what I mean? I sort of like it and don't like it at the same time, but I instantly recognize it, and it's the first thing that I thought of, so I must like it. Man, there's a lot of great singers. There's a lot.
I actually really like Sebastian Granger from Death from Above.
Okay.
Man, I'm trying to think of there's so many cool.
While Matt's thinking about that, how about you, Jordan? Favourite guitar player?
I mean, top guitar player it's got to be Hendrix. Huge fan since I picked up a guitar.
I'd say Regina Spektor.
Okay.
This Russian lady. Her voice is her voice is amazing, and she's managed to get herself on some great production teams as well. Recording the stuff together. She had the same engineer from Lullabies to Paralyze from Queens of Stone Age on her album. What's it? Blue. I think the album's called Blue. It's got like a blue piano on the front cover. But yeah, she's got an amazing voice, and she influenced me a lot on piano playing. Yeah, definitely. I used to, I think Matt Bellamy's voice in the past was great, but now he's sort of made himself into a robot. Yeah, and his guitar playing is great as well. It's really great, and yeah, guitar players, man. I mean, Joshua Homme is his guitar playing is just so weird in terms of the scales that he uses. It just makes it up, and yeah, and man, so many different I'd say the keyboardist from Thundercat.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, he's crazy.
Okay.
And the keyboardist from Bad Band of Good, he's off the chart as well.
Okay. And any more for you, Jordan? players or musicians?
It feels like rattling off every single.
I think Bill Ward from Black Sabbath.
Yeah, as a drummer. Yeah.
His drums, I think. I just love that.
What about Henry? Henry really loves. Let me see if I did my homework. Henry really loves all sorts of. Yeah, wait, he loves Use of Days, and he loves that guy, man, Matt Garska. I think that's how you pronounce it. Yeah.
Oh right, okay, and he's with. Do you know who he?
I think he's
or is he just like a session.
I think it's just him. Oh man, Henry's gonna kill me.
Perhaps if we play the next track, Henry can text in with it.
Matt Garska, yeah, he really digs that guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Move on and just about sort of perhaps the scene, if you like, in Essex, round your way. Good scene at the moment, do you think? Lots of good bands.
I think it definitely feels like there's a community thing going on, right? Where you play with a band, you see them playing with someone else, and you see some Spotify playlist, and you're like, oh man, I play with that band. That feels good. Feels like, it feels like you're throwing a stone into a pond, and you're getting a little wave back. It's not just an abyss, but the scene, is it absolutely fantastic? Probably not. But that's just the way it is. People are busy. People it takes a lot of effort to go out and do stuff, and it's always hard work trying to get people to arrange to like see each other, let alone go to a gig. So that's different. I've experienced the scene in Scotland, and that's a lot different because Scotland is such a smaller place. Not geographically, but the population is like so much smaller. And if you gigged around for like a year and you go out every weekend, you probably meet every single band. So the community there was pretty nuts, and you could get gigs all the time, and there's a lot of venues. What about you, Maine? The scene
I think we
in
played
Essex.
with some good bands. There's a lot of good bands out there.
Any band particularly you'd sort of recommend people from Essex way?
We've enjoyed playing with Colk.
Are they from Essex?
They're Stowmarket guys, but that'll do. That's
Yeah,
okay.
they're pretty nuts.
Yeah.
They are pretty nuts, and Elephant Jane. I'd say, you never want to say. I think they're sounding a lot better now. I think they've been getting better and better. Not saying they sounded bad before, but that's a compliment, I think. But they've been getting like a lot of new songs going on, and you can see the fire in them. So I'm pretty glad we're playing with them. And so it's always hard work thinking about like bands off the top of your head, isn't it? But yeah, there are a lot. We played with the last gig we played with Ransoms.
Yeah.
And they were so good. It was like, did we even want to bother getting up? Because we were playing after them.
Okay.
Yeah, they had a great sound, and they played at the Art Centre the day after, which was I definitely want to play there. I forgot about that place.
Yeah,
that's a place that I would definitely want to play. Anybody listening?
Okay. Going on to venues, do you feel there's enough?
No.
In Essex? No.
I live in Clacton. There used to be a cool venue, but that whole building's been knocked down, called Was Liquor Lounge. But yeah, there was a good thing going on in Clacton, but there was this the demand was so small, I guess. But in terms of Colchester and Ipswich and stuff, I definitely feel like when I compare it to Scotland, there's so few places. It's weird. I don't understand why there's hardly any places in these towns. But maybe it is the demand. But who knows?
Yeah, and that was sort of going to be my next question, really. What do you
getting in there before you?
Yeah. Well, it happens quite often, actually. But sort of, what do you think bands and promoters and venues can do to get more people through the door? Or do you just think it's a sign of the times that actually people just don't go to bands anymore, see bands anymore?
I think bands should not just play their set and leave.
Yeah.
I think they need to stick around.
Yeah.
Because they're bringing their own fans, they're playing, they're leaving with their fans, and they're not going to build their own fan base.
Yeah, because
and it's killing the scene, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a real shame. I mean, unless we just, go to people's houses and pick them up, and it's like,
physically.
But yeah, what would make it better? Yeah, that's that is one of the main things, I mean, there's one band that I play with, and like, they literally like broke my kit, and they didn't even say sorry or anything, and they didn't offer to, they played it and broke it, and you just think, come on, guys. But they were like one of those like hip bands that look like they're trying to get themselves on X Factor or something. And they brought all their fans, and then as soon as they stopped playing, they left. And they came back like last 30 seconds of the set, and they were like, "Oh, great set, guys," and it just makes you feel like, man, all right, whatever. But I always watch all the bands as much as I can.
Yeah.
Because they use my stuff, I got to stay.
And we'll go on with, I think we've probably got time for one more track at least. So you mentioned Bad Bad Not Good. Shall we play a track from them?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's a good bang. It's a banger.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So this is Bad Bad Not Good with a track called Can't Leave the Night. that was Bad Bad Not Good with a track called Can't Leave the Night, and that was a choice of my guests this evening. I've got Matt and Jordan here from Karmataus, and guys, if I can just ask you, what do you feel are the next steps for Karmataus going forward?
I think finish this EP, probably continue writing and just keep gigging.
Release some, get some more videos out. That's what I really want, you know, like, not just the music, but getting the whole package together, you know? Because that, you know, most of my favourite bands, you know, like, Thundercat and Queens of Stone Age and, you know, all that stuff, like, even Massive Attack, it's not just music, you know? Music is just, you know, in your Happy Meal, it's just the burger bit, but you got the whole, you know, you got the whole package, you got the whole box and everything, and the toy, and I think that it just makes you. I think it just makes you enjoy it so much more, you know. And you got some cool promotion stuff going on, and this crazy band girl called Poppy. She's on YouTube and stuff, but she's got, you know, she's got all these videos, but she's got music. And if you just listen to music, you think, oh, that's alright, yeah, it's nice. But you see the artwork and all the stuff, and says, yeah, you are not part of my cult, and it's like, you know, it's all this stuff, and the branding is like perfect, and I just think, I really like that, you know. So I want to do some more stuff of that, cool artwork and videos, and just do other things that is related to it, but not exactly the same as the actual, you know, thing, which is the tracks. Yeah.
Okay, and ultimately you're looking for like a management record deal, or are you happy with doing things yourself? And
well, I mean, I feel like I'm pretty sweet with the recording part because I've got my own studio, and I just charge myself, you know, $120 an hour. But I think a manager would suit us a lot more than a deep record deal, especially at the moment. But I mean, this depends what it is. You know, I'm not saying no. I'm just saying you don't want to, you know, sign yourself over to the devil and you got your hands tied. Yeah.
Okay, and you've got an EP, Days After Days, and you've got a single, Truth Be Told, and you've got your Later Down the Road album. Where can people pick those up?
As I said, I'll put my address at the end of this. Like you
Everything's
can
on Bandcamp.
Everything's on Bandcamp, yeah.
Okay.
And everything's on SoundCloud, but the latest stuff, you know, going forward is on Spotify and Apple Music and all that sweet stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and YouTube as well. And
Okay.
YouTube is like, you know, it's going to be a place where we're going to be sticking more stuff on, not just the music, but all sorts of different stuff. Yeah.
Okay, and finally, where can people reach you in terms of your social media sites?
Karmataus.
Okay.
And you can go Instagram, Facebook. Send me a private message if you want to talk about something. I've like, you know, interviewed just me. Yeah, Karmataus. No one else has that name, so I think it'll come down. Karmataus.
Yes, okay.
Almost couldn't spell it there.
Bung that in your Google search engine, and you guys will be at the top of the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Excellent.
only list.
Excellent. Well, thank you ever so much for coming on. It's been great.
Yeah.
All right, thanks a lot, Simon. Yeah, thanks.
Thank
It's
you.
been great.
And we'll finish with a track from your Days After Days EP. In fact, I think, it's the title track, Days After Days. So thanks, guys. And this is Karmataus with Days After Days.
All right, cheers.
And if I don't get to say goodbye at the end, thanks ever so much for tuning in. I'll catch you next week. I've got one of those all new band, new track shows. So hopefully you'll join me on the Ballroom Blitz next week. And this is Karmataus. Cheerio.